What's going on? I'm gonna adjust my mic here a little bit closer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Andrew, and I don't want to work anymore. And it's Friday, June 13th, and we are trading Nasdaq land. What a look at this action! Wow. And I'm already in a trade, so full transparency there. We'll get the chat going. Hello, Nasdaq land. Maybe this should be one word. Nasdaq land. I'm gonna call it Nasdaq land. It's a new country. Don't worry about it. It'll be on the map soon. Anyway, man, I am super stoked. I am in a position with $400 in profit that I took way back last night while watching hockey, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how this worked out. But let's have a look at what we can deal with for the open first. I won't be doing a whole lot other than managing my trade that I have on already and trying to find a spot where my stop loss is going to be safe so I can still capture most of this upside, because I believe, and I hope we're going to get back to at least the top of Asia, if not back to this drop. I'm hoping for a full rebalance today, but we'll see. And then I'm going to play just pretend like I'm, with the long tool. So we're looking for longs. I'm going to pretend like I'm taking a long like that and setting a target. But yeah, lots of sell side objectives that price can reach down to wipe people out, like people like me. So let's have a look. Higher time frame stuff. This is the 1 hour. We get the 5 minute over here. My 5 minute has different color settings. Like that. Okay. There, that looks better. Who's out there? Say hello. Tell me that you're happy it's Friday. The only thing that sucks about Fridays, we have to wait 2 days, almost 3 days, till we get to trade again Monday morning. But okay, here's what happened. When you see a huge drop like this is basically the market maker sell model, and we're going to be rolling up into the buy. It's almost going to be like a complete cup and handle. We're going to come right back, I think. So anyway, yesterday I was calling for bearish prices, but after we move up, so I was looking at getting into Wednesday's inefficiency up here. Let's see if maybe we'll put on the 15 minute, because this is some context here. There's quite a bit of it actually on how this actually all came to be. And I know we had a situation overseas, but it almost like makes it sound, or it still makes it feel like it was coordinated. And that's a hot take, but I'll give you my reasons here. So yesterday in the morning, I was looking to move up into this 15-minute fair value gap before going lower. And so we were looking for longs yesterday, and I don't remember. I think I had the right idea. I just didn't have the right trade management, and we totally got up there, and then we consolidated the entire day. And I was calling for this fair value gap to get hit yesterday, and then Raghav asked me what my downside objective was, and so, you know, I didn't really have one, so I picked one. I went to the daily and I was like, okay, well, let's have a look. I'm gonna put on the big screen actually. So I was like, I don't know what my downside objective would be. Let's have a look. And we're gonna zoom in here. And so since I wanted this fair value gap to get tapped into, I said, well, why not? Ooh, you know what? I called Thursday, January 5th low, I think is what I said. So, okay, I'm not that smart. Unless I was calling for this low. Either way, when this huge drop off happened, I put a line out immediately for this low, and that line's been there since yesterday. And I'll show you what I was looking at or looking for. Time is it? Market just opened. We'll get back to that. So here we go on our pump up. I want pink open. We just took out some buy side here, relatively equal highs. Now I'm going to expect this to come lower and try to disrupt all of us that have been long all night. And, you know, should I take profit here? Take one contract off? I think I should take one contract off. Oh, I already took two contracts off. All I have is one left. Yeah, how am I gonna pick? Asia high? Maybe Asia high. I'll just... You know, whatever. I'm up another 725 bucks. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher. Here comes the greed. You know what? I should just like trail up my stop really tight. You know what? Whatever. I'm done. That's it. Good enough. That was more than I could ask for. So let's break it down. I'm expecting lower now before we go higher. So when we start taking out some sell side here. Okay. I should actually maybe even open up my positions. Trade settings. Executions. So as we came down, I was waiting and I had this line drawn out and I really wanted to touch this line or at least get within 10 points of it. And when we got here at 489, so I was like, okay, well, I'm about 18 points away and maybe that will be our relatively equal low. And so that's when I dropped down into a 15-second chart. And I'll show you exactly what I was looking at. Because price is fractal, or time is, one or the other. Let's see, where's my entry? Right here. right? So as soon as we broke above this high, so we dropped down, we came up, actually we even swept above this one, and then we closed back in, and that's when I entered. So I had my first position there, and then let's see here, and then there's this fair value gap here, and this is when I put my second position on. So when we came back, returned into this fair value gap, that's when I added another position right on this candle, just as it tapped in there. So I had two positions on. I can't remember what my average price was, and then we started going higher, and then we made relatively equal highs and then came all the way back. And so here is where I sold my first partial because I had two positions on, and then I thought we were going back up, and I bought again, and then I think I got stopped out here. I got stopped out here. So I don't remember if I made profit in here, just because I just don't remember. I'd have to go back. But anyway, then what happened was we came even further down, tapped exactly what I wanted to touch, which was that low here at 21,471. And then I waited again, going into a 15-minute or 15-second chart. I was looking for that change in the state. And you know what? Once we were this low, I was like, oh yeah, I measured the low. So we tapped below that line and made a new one just by like a tick. 21,471. 21,470.5, so two ticks below that low, which was June 5th, I believe, or 6th, and that's when we started ripping up. So I had 1, 2, 3 positions on, and then I sold one up here, and then I added another one right here. And then I kept them on until taking a couple. I took a couple nibbles. So there's 2 contracts off there. And that was before bed. So I took 2 contracts off and I let a runner go. So that's where we're at. So let's look at what's happening here now. I sold at the top. And we'll see what the market does now. But so yeah, after resetting my account after a terrible trading session on, what was it, Wednesday was when I went on full tilt. I'm already up $1,200 on this account, so let's not be hasty with it and look for great setups. I could see a full rebalance here. We got relatively equal lows right here. And this is a 1 hour CISD over here. So from here on, for the morning, I am bearish. Maybe we gotta just tap the Asia high here, maybe. And then we could look for a reversal after taking out this low. And the way I knew how to take this is exactly, yeah, ICT's market maker sell model. And so it's just gonna rip back up till at least filling in and rebalancing this entire leg. Made some money in here yesterday. I did not make any money here. I did get a, oh yeah, I caught this leg here. I don't remember how, but I believe it was on the 15-second chart is how I knew to get into this. So that was a nice sell there. I lost all this yesterday, even though my analysis was correct. We had a consolidation manipulated below these lows just with this one wick, and then to the upside, bouncing off the first presented fair value gap, and it would have been no good to otherwise after that. And yes, that's on the 9:30 candle. And yes, ICT said in the past that you're not supposed to use that candle, but in a recent video, he says you can. So really that first presented fair value gap turns out to be this big. Does it make any difference? It actually does close below this one. So this actually is the most valid one when you look at it. And it's probably because of the sweep. So I'm still looking for longs today. I'm just concerned about coming back down to this 1 hour CISD and maybe taking out these relatively equal lows. Although they don't look that great, that even. There's the equal, well, it took equal highs, so that's why I'm a little bit concerned about a reversal in play. What's going on out there? Nobody's on the chat. You guys not trading on Friday? Can remove this line now. We may not even come back down here. So again, here's another PO3. We box out those highs and the low. I'm gonna fix that a little bit lower like that. So there's your relatively equal lows. This is your manipulation down, taking out sell side before going up. So we'll see if this is gonna hold up here and keep going, or are we gonna come back down to rebalance this before going higher. But like I said, I've made some pretty good profit. I am in no rush to jump in anything that doesn't make sense. So you could use this as the first presented fair value gap. We have tapped back into it. And now we're consolidating, which tells me we're probably poised to keep going higher. And we're about 100 points away from the top there. We'll keep an eye on this. We did create another fair value gap here, so we really need this low to hold support. Although we did have price close below it, so this can get messy for a little while. But we can practice another strategy. I keep seeing this guy on Instagram, and I like what he's got. I like his stuff. Let's go to a 1 minute. And he trades what he calls the 10 a.m. power 3. So at 10 a.m. a new 1 hour candle, or sorry, a new 4 hour candle opens up. I don't remember his name, but I should throw him a bone because I like his stuff. So this would be that macro from 950. Let's see here. Yeah, the 950 macro. 955, but you could basically use this. Well, actually, so he's looking for a consolidation, manipulation, and expansion, right? So at 10 a.m. I think there's even an indicator for it, a PO3 candle. So it has to make the low. So let's find the opening price at 10 a.m., which is right here. And it needs to make the wick. So this one's kind of tricky because you have this fair value gap, and then you also have the first presented fair value gap. And so price opens up, it trades up into this and then trades down into that one. But he says he looks for confirmation, and that's when price closes and inverts a fair value gap. Are you going to get that every time? I don't know. But this is one of the ways that you can confirm it. And if anything, you're just going to be wrong once. So if you thought we were going to trade up and make the wick and then break lower, that's one thing, and you would get stopped out pretty soon. Or you're going to bounce off of this one. So actually what you could have done in this situation is wait for the first inversion of either one of these when you're stuck between two of them. So either a closure below the first presented fair value gap or a closure above this fair value gap, and then you could use that as your entry right there at the top. Maybe this is a CISD, so you come up and then you broke that high. The opening price of this candle here on this leg down, starting this run down, is the opening price of the CISD, and this second candle trades right to it, and that would be your entry. And then you could use whatever, the bottom of this candle as your stop loss. So let's enter there, stop goes there, target whatever, a 2. Maybe use kind of like my model where as soon as you make a fair value gap, you cinch it up there. There's another one right here. You hold that, and then you make this one over here, and then you can drag it up to there. And then let's see, we got one more. Yeah, we still get another one over here, so then it rips up even higher. So you can bring it up to the bottom of that one. And then once you see this breakdown, then you know it's time to get out. So anyway, there's 55 points in a 2.48 R, which is pretty nice. So let's see, let's check another model like that. 650. So you know what, let's try it today. Let's try his 10 a.m. power 3 right now. So we have this fair value gap that we're inside. We don't really have another one other than this one, which has already been closed below. So we're looking for a manipulation, which might be down to this fair value gap, or we just might manipulate into this top one. So are we inside this one already? Let's have a look. Bottom of that candle, there's that, and then there's another one right here, just above Asia. We'll drag that out. So we've already tapped into that one, but we can add a gradient to it. This could be part of the manipulation right now. Let's see here, the fib. I don't need all these standard deviation projections. I'll take the 0.25 though, and why not the 0.75? Let's have a 4-hour look at what we got going on right now. Remove this. I'd like to hide all the drawings off of this chart, but okay. So we got, did we break this low? I believe we did. It's hard to see, but it happened. So the low on this candle is, yeah, 21,651.25. 21,664.5. So we broke this low. We might not get any higher. I think we might still be bearish yet. So we're in the top of this 4-hour fair value gap right now. Ooh, I think we're bearish. I think we're super bearish. I think this is gonna keep going. Because we broke this low, we are poised to sell off. You know, whether it's to this guy or this one or that one, I think we're bearish going forward here now. far up did we get into this? I gotta remove this fib. And yeah, we're not gonna go for a full rebalance on this. I think we're gonna only get up to 75%. Which we've already done. There you go. We just broke the Asia high. That could have been the manipulation. But we'll see. No, we have to wait for the new candle to open. We're gonna break the lower now. Yeah, guys, watch this. We're going short. We've gone up as high as we're gonna go. We're gonna keep the top portion of this fair value gap open. This is the daily high. That's my prediction. I was hoping for a fair value gap to stay open here. Maybe it's going to be on the 5-minute. Let's have a look. A lot can happen in the next 4 minutes plus. I was really hoping to see support on this 4-hour or 1-hour CISD. I guess we kind of did, but I think that's the end. So made this low, came up, broke above. There was relatively equal highs here, so we got above them there. And then I thought we would have maybe got support off of there, but we came down through it. So maybe the CISD doesn't work as great on the 1 hour. Unless we get support off of it here. Let's draw that out. What would that be? It's another 5-minute CISD, which started this whole movement down. So we're inside that first presented fair value gap. Although we do have one here on the 930 candle. I'd like to see us bounce off of this CISD price and then invert this little guy. And then you can make an argument to go higher. Or it's gonna come down here. We're 2 minutes away from the new 10 a.m. candle, bounce off of here, come up into this, and then break lower. I would like to see this market maker sell model get closed all the way in, but looking at the higher time frame chart, I don't think it's going to happen. But we'll see what happens on the reaction here on the new 4-hour candle. It still might go up there and then break all the way lower. But I am officially bearish for sure. Whoa. There's the candle up. I think we're back inside that. There was that fair value gap that I was looking at. What was it on a 1 minute? Let's see. Yeah, there was a 1 minute fair value gap here. Come on. So that candle, the new 4-hour candle, has not made a low yet. It's made its high, moving into this fair value gap. It could close below this one. And then we'll be clear to go short. Okay. I think there's a breaker in here too. High, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. We've taken out this low. We've now come up into this high. We're going to consolidate in here now. Where's the 4-hour candle? Yep. I still want a closure below this fair value gap. Although the ideal entry was probably consequent encroachment of this long wick here. Almost hit it. Not quite. What was it off? 780 to 782. 2.5 points. How close do you want to get? We also have the CISD, the break below, which is also right in the middle of that fair value gap here. That's weird. I'm taking a sell here. Oh man, I didn't know it was $71 points. And there's that closure on that candle I was looking for. Just below that little fair value gap there. A little scary on my entry here. I did use a healthy stop, but I don't think it's going to survive. Now we're consolidating back and forth between these two. What do we got here? So my short was here. Stop loss is there. Take profit is on a 1.74. I need a 2. I'm gonna end this stream soon, so I'm actually gonna see here. No, I'm going for the low. Way lower. Where do I want it? London low. I can't seem to pick some relatively equal lows here. what, how about just right here? We'll take that. We'll set that up. Let's see, how's our trade looking? Finally getting out of this range a little bit. Breaking low before, lower than the first presented fair value gap. There we go. Maybe this wants to come up just a little higher. Reducing my risk. So they also call this like a double purge PO3. So you had this range, we came out of it, took out any of the stops below these relatively equal lows, pushed higher, got right above Asia's high, and then broke lower. So this would be just your sweep. This is the actual manipulation, and then we're probably gonna look to distribute all the way lower today. I wouldn't be surprised if we even got down to Asia lows. So maybe my profit objective is not low enough. I can also just cinch up my stops, but if it really takes off, I can just adjust it. So for now, I'll put it at London lows, and we'll babysit this. I'll look to move this to break even soon. We've passed through that CISD on the 1 hour. If anything, I want to add another position to this. Because yeah, bombs dropping it's going to cause a little bit of volatility and probably to the downside. So this is just a retracement up. This can get pretty serious. Maybe we can add another, once we invert below the opening price right there, closing below here, then we can, that would be an inversion, and then we can cinch our stop down and reduce the risk and keep 2 positions open. I also could just be getting greedy right now, so you know what, yeah, it's time to end the stream. It's been a great day. I'm still winning. I got a great position on. I'll leave my risk at 32 bucks. I think that's totally worth it just to make sure I play out here, especially after, you know, what I got for my account history, 700 bucks. We had a $700 trade, 169, 163, 109. We did lose 236, so that kind of like negates all that. So anyway, 50, 91, minus 21, minus 15, 34, 8. We're doing good. So I'm just gonna let this ride. We're gonna start the weekend, get over to some clients today, fix them up, and that'll be the lot. You guys have a great weekend. I'll catch you on Monday.